Nobody is going to say this to your face, so I will. If your erections have been getting weaker, shorter, or less reliable over the past few years, that is not stress. That is not age. That is your arteries quietly failing you. And the terrifying part is that it has been happening for years before the bedroom ever showed you the evidence. The damage happening inside your arterial walls right now is not random, and it is not irreversible. It is a specific, identifiable, biologically correctable failure. One that most men never receive a clear explanation for, and one that no pill on the market actually fixes at its root. Today, I am going to show you exactly what is happening inside your vascular system and the 6 most powerful additions you can make to your morning routine to begin genuinely reversing it. My name is Dr. Julia Rhodes. I am a men's sex therapist with over a decade of experience working with different couples and helping men regain their sexual health and strength back. In more than 10 years of clinical practice, I have worked with hundreds of men who have watched their erectile strength quietly decline over months or years, tried the standard options, received partial results at best, and are now genuinely wondering whether strong, reliable sexual function is still available to them. I am here to tell you clearly, yes, it is. But not through pills that create a temporary chemical override of a deeper biological problem that keeps developing underneath the surface. The path to genuinely restored erectile strength runs through your vascular system, through the health of your arterial walls, the flexibility of your blood vessels, and the efficiency of your nitric oxide production. That is exactly what we are covering today. If you are done accepting partial answers and temporary fixes, I need you to do one thing before we go any further. Subscribe to this channel and turn your notifications on immediately. Every single week, I bring you clinically grounded, experience-backed content built specifically around men's sexual health, vascular vitality, and the real biological science of what it takes for a man to reclaim his full strength. This is not generic wellness content. This is the specific, targeted information that most men never receive at a routine medical appointment. You deserve better than that. Subscribe now and let us get into the 6 most powerful additions that restore the blood flow behind strong, reliable erections. The real reason erections weaken with age. An erection is, at its most fundamental level, a hydraulic event. It is driven entirely by blood. When you become aroused, your nervous system triggers the release of a molecule called nitric oxide into the smooth muscle tissue of your penile arteries. Nitric oxide tells those arterial walls to relax and expand. Blood then rushes into 2 chambers inside the penis called the corpora cavernosa, filling them under pressure and producing firmness. No blood flow, no erection, insufficient blood flow, weak, inconsistent, or unsustainable erection. And the single most powerful driver of whether that blood flow is adequate is the health of your nitric oxide system. After the age of 40, nitric oxide production begins to decline. By 60, a man's nitric oxide output can be as much as 50% lower than it was in his 30s. The arterial walls that once responded quickly to arousal signals have become stiffer, less elastic, and less responsive. This is why beet juice has become one of the most discussed natural interventions for erectile health. It is extraordinarily rich in dietary nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide. But here is what almost nobody tells you. After 65, 3 specific biological changes quietly cut beet juice's nitric oxide conversion efficiency nearly in half. You could be drinking beet juice every single morning and still leaving the majority of its erectile benefit completely untapped. Not because beet juice does not work, but because your body's ability to process it has been compromised by age-related changes that beet juice alone cannot fix. Today, I am counting down the 6 most powerful additions that restore that lost efficiency and rebuild the blood flow that strong erections depend on. Drop your age in the comments right now and tell me honestly, how long have you been dealing with changes in your erectile strength? I read every single comment. Now let us begin. Ingredient 6, fresh lemon juice. Beet juice produces nitric oxide through a 2-step conversion. Step 1, bacteria on your tongue convert dietary nitrates into nitrites. Step 2, your stomach converts those nitrites into active nitric oxide, the molecule that drives blood into erectile tissue. That second step requires an acidic stomach environment to work properly. After 65, stomach acid declines by an estimated 30 to 40% in most men. Without adequate acidity, that conversion runs cold. A significant portion of the nitrites your body produced never become the active nitric oxide your erectile tissue needs. You are swallowing a powerful drink that your body is processing like tap water. Fresh lemon juice contains citric acid and vitamin C, both of which restore the acidic environment that efficient nitric oxide conversion depends on. Researchers at the University of Southampton found that adding vitamin C to dietary nitrate intake increased measurable nitric oxide byproducts in the bloodstream by 33% in older adults compared to the same intake without it. For men whose erectile strength is rooted in inadequate nitric oxide production, that 33% recovery is a meaningful restoration of biological capacity. Squeeze one full fresh lemon into your beet juice immediately before drinking. Let the mixture sit 60 seconds before consuming. That contact time allows citric acid to prime the conversion environment before the blend reaches your stomach. Ingredient 5, raw garlic. 1 to 2 cloves crushed and blended directly into your preparation. Raw garlic produces a compound called allicin the moment it is physically crushed. Allicin directly inhibits an enzyme called ADMA, asymmetric dimethylarginine, which functions as a biological brake on nitric oxide production inside your vascular cells. After 70, ADMA levels increase by an estimated 25%. This is one of the primary biochemical reasons erectile strength declines with age, entirely independently of testosterone levels or any other factor you may already be addressing. From my clinical practice, a man I will call Marcus, 68 years old, had watched his erectile function decline for 4 years to the point where intimacy with his wife had become a source of anxiety. 4 months of beet juice alone produced modest improvement. 2 raw cloves of garlic added to his daily blend changed everything. Within 6 weeks, the firmness and consistency of his erections had improved in a way he described as returning to 10 years prior. Beet juice delivers the raw material. Garlic releases the brakes, suppressing it. Researchers at the University of Alabama at Birmingham found that combined nitrate and allicin intake in adults over 65 produced a 28% greater improvement in arterial flexibility over 12 weeks compared to nitrate intake alone. Crush 2 raw cloves, rest them 10 minutes to maximize allicin production, then blend in and consume on an empty stomach. Now, before I proceed, I want to pause for just a moment, because if what I've shared so far is already starting to connect dots for you, if you're beginning to understand why certain experiences in the bedroom have played out the way they have, I want you to know that there is a complete guide available that takes everything I teach on this channel and builds it into a single structured roadmap. The complete guide pieces the entire puzzle of men's sexual health together. From fixing erection and performance issues at the foundation to the specific techniques that make a man genuinely exceptional in bed after 60, to how to bring your partner to the same level of desire and engagement as you, so that the connection between you is firing on every cylinder, not just some of them. It is not a collection of tips. It is a handheld beginning to end journey through everything a man over 60 needs to know to perform with confidence, connect with depth, and enjoy his sex life the way he deserves to. I made a full video walking through exactly what the program covers and who it is for. The link is pinned in the comment section and sitting in the video description right now. Go and watch it after this video. I think it is going to land with you in a significant way. Now, let's continue. Ingredient 4, pure unsweetened raw cacao powder. Raw cacao contains the highest known dietary concentration of flavonols, specifically epicatechin, that activate nitric oxide production through the endothelial pathway. This is completely separate from the nitrate pathway beet juice uses. Beet juice is a fuel delivery system sending raw material to your vascular cells. Cacao flavonols are a factory upgrade, increasing the production capacity of the endothelial cells themselves. Combined, the output does not add, it compounds. After 75, endothelial cells lose approximately 35% of their nitric oxide synthase activity, the enzymatic engine that produces nitric oxide in response to arousal. This is one of the primary reasons erections become less responsive with age, even in men with adequate testosterone. Cacao flavanols are among the very few dietary compounds shown to partially reverse that lost activity, not slow the decline, but measurably reverse existing damage. Harvard Medical School researchers analyzing the Cosmos Cocoa trial found flavanol-rich cacao associated with a 32% reduction in cardiovascular mortality in adults over 70. A separate study found a synergistic nitric oxide response 58% greater than either compound alone in adults averaging 71 years of age. 1 to 2 TBSP of raw cacao powder daily, never Dutch processed cocoa. That treatment destroys up to 90% of flavanol content. Add a pinch of black pepper. Piperine inhibits the enzyme that breaks down flavanols during digestion, extending their biological activity by up to 2 additional hours. Pause. The top 3 are different. Lemon, garlic, and cacao all work on the same primary system, increasing nitric oxide through 3 separate entry points. What comes next addresses entirely different biological systems that beet juice, and the first 3 additions simply cannot reach. Even if you have been doing everything right, what follows adds mechanisms your erectile health currently has no access to at all. If nobody has ever told you that your beet juice has been running at half capacity, hit the like button right now. Other men searching for real answers will only find this content if you engage with it. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now. Ingredient 3, fresh ginger root, grated raw, never powdered. When blood is called to fill erectile tissue during arousal, it must travel through progressively narrower vessels to reach the corpora cavernosa. Flow through those narrowest channels is determined not just by vessel width, but by the physical viscosity of the blood itself. After 75, blood viscosity increases by an estimated 18%. Red blood cells become stiffer and less able to navigate the smallest capillaries. A small increase in viscosity produces a dramatic reduction in flow through narrow channels. This is why a man can have adequate nitric oxide production and healthy arterial flexibility and still experience weak erections. The blood is simply too thick to fill the erectile chambers with adequate speed and pressure. Beet juice dilates the channels. Ginger thins the fluid moving through them. 2 completely independent mechanisms working simultaneously on the same problem. Ginger's active compounds, gingerols and shogalls, inhibit thromboxane A2 synthesis, the process responsible for platelet aggregation and blood thickening. A University of Sydney randomized controlled trial found adults over 65 consuming fresh ginger showed a 23% reduction in platelet aggregation within 4 weeks. When combined with beet juice nitrates, researchers described the circulatory improvement as exceeding predictions of simple addition, a true biological synergy. Grate 1 to 2 in of fresh ginger into your blend. Within 15 minutes of consuming the preparation, take a brief walk. Movement activates gingerol compounds more rapidly, producing compounding vascular benefits that sustain for several hours. Ingredient 2, L-arginine powder. Think about what you have built so far. Lemon restored the conversion environment, garlic released the ADMA brake, cacao upgraded endothelial production capacity. Ginger thinned the blood those vessels are moving, but every system, no matter how optimized, can only produce as much as its raw material supply allows. L-arginine is the direct molecular raw material that your vascular cells use to manufacture nitric oxide at the cellular level. Without sufficient L-arginine in your bloodstream, the entire upgraded system runs supply limited. You have rebuilt the factory and upgraded the equipment, but left the raw material warehouse empty. A man I will call Thomas, 73 years old, 5 years of progressive erectile decline that had made penetrative intercourse reliably impossible without pharmaceutical help. 3g of L-arginine added to his daily beet juice blend produced results that surprised his medical team. Within 8 weeks, the quality of his unaided erections had improved substantially. Within 4 months, he and his physician discussed reducing his pharmaceutical dependence, something he had been told was unlikely 18 months earlier. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine found L-arginine supplementation in adults over 65 produced a 22% improvement in functional vascular outcomes over 12 weeks, with benefit most pronounced when taken alongside dietary nitrate sources, specifically beet juice. After 70, the enzyme that recycles L-arginine within your vascular cells declines by an estimated 20%, meaning your body needs significantly more from outside sources just to maintain the same nitric oxide output it once produced effortlessly. 3 to 5 g of pure unflavored L-arginine powder stirred into your complete blend daily. Its effects are cumulative, building over 4 to 6 weeks. Never take it within 2 hours of a high-fat meal. Because garlic is already present in your blend, it simultaneously neutralizes the ADMA spike that dietary fat triggers, making this combination particularly potent for erectile health. Ingredient 1, the part of the beet you have been throwing away. Think back to the last time you bought fresh whole beets with leafy green tops attached. What did you do with those tops? If you were like nearly every man watching this, you put them straight in the trash. From a vascular and erectile health standpoint, you may have been discarding the single most powerful part of the entire plant every single time. Beet greens contain a compound called betaine, also known as trimethylglycine, in concentrations 3 to 4 times higher than the beetroot itself. Betaine does not produce nitric oxide directly. It works through an entirely different and more foundational pathway, one that determines whether every other ingredient on this list can reach its full potential inside your body. Betaine is the most potent dietary reducer of homocysteine found in any natural food source. Homocysteine is an amino acid that accumulates in your blood as you age, and elevated homocysteine acts as a slow, corrosive agent against the endothelial lining of your arteries, including the delicate, small-diameter arteries of your penile vasculature, which are among the most vulnerable vessels in your entire body. It creates microscopic inflammation, triggers plaque accumulation, destroys arterial elasticity, and directly damages the endothelial cells where nitric oxide is produced and received. Every ingredient before number 1 has been working to produce and deliver nitric oxide to your penile arterial walls. Betaine repairs the walls themselves. Without addressing homocysteine, you can optimize every other aspect of your nitric oxide system and still find that the arterial tissue meant to respond is too damaged and too inflamed to do so fully. After 65, homocysteine rises significantly in the majority of men and is now recognized as one of the strongest independent risk factors for erectile dysfunction in older men, with direct links to endothelial damage and arterial stiffness in the penile vasculature. Despite this, most men go through their entire lives without having their homocysteine discussed at a single medical appointment. Researchers at Wageningen University found betaine supplementation, equivalent to 2 to 3 daily servings of beet greens, reduced plasma homocysteine by 11% over 6 weeks. A study combining dietary nitrates with betaine in adults over 65 found participants consuming both showed a 47% greater improvement in endothelial function compared to those consuming nitrates alone. For men with vascular-rooted erectile dysfunction, the majority of men over 60, that 47% improvement is not an abstract statistic. It is a direct improvement in the tissue responsible for producing and responding to the nitric oxide that drives erection. Blend the green tops from 2 to 3 fresh beets directly into your morning preparation. If your beets come without tops, look for beet green powder in supplement form, approximately 500 milliliters per teaspoon. Add it to your complete blend alongside the lemon, garlic, cacao, ginger, and L-arginine. Under 5 minutes of preparation, 6 non-overlapping biological mechanisms addressing the vascular root of erectile strength simultaneously in a single morning glass. Your complete morning preparation clears throat. No 12 sats. Step 1. Juice or blend fresh beets, including the leafy green tops. Use beet green powder if tops are unavailable. Step 2. Squeeze 1 full fresh lemon into the blend. Allow 60 seconds of contact time before adding remaining ingredients. Step 3. Crush 2 raw garlic cloves. Rest them 10 full minutes, then blend in. Step 4. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of raw cacao powder with a small pinch of black pepper. Step 5. Grate 1 to 2 inches of fresh ginger root directly into the blend. Step 6. Stir in 3 to 5 grams of pure unflavored L-arginine powder until fully dissolved. Consume on an empty stomach. Take a brief 10-minute walk within 15 minutes of drinking. For best erectile results, consume the blend approximately 90 minutes before anticipated sexual activity. The nitric oxide peak at 90 minutes aligns precisely with the window of maximum vasodilatory support for erectile tissue. What I need you to understand: in over a decade of clinical practice, I have watched the same pattern repeat itself more times than I can count. A man notices his erectile strength declining. He waits. It does not correct itself. He seeks help and receives a pharmaceutical that addresses the symptom while the underlying biological cause worsens beneath the surface. His vascular health deteriorates. His nitric oxide falls further. The dose required gradually increases because the biology is worsening, not improving. The men who break that pattern are the men who address the vascular biology directly, who gave their bodies the specific compounds needed to rebuild what age had degraded. 6 scientifically studied interventions working simultaneously on 6 different biological systems, all contributing directly to the blood flow strong erections depend on. Give this 4 to 6 weeks of consistent daily use. L-arginine and betaine build their effects cumulatively. Many men notice meaningful changes within the first 2 to 3 weeks. Your erectile health is not permanently broken. It is nutrient depleted, enzymatically undersupported, and vascularly compromised in specific correctable ways. And you now have the tools to begin addressing every single one of them. Now, I want to take a moment here because what I have shared with you today is one crucial piece of a much larger picture. Understanding what your partner needs is foundational, but for many men over 60, there is more going on than simply needing a new approach to intimacy. There are questions about erection and performance that haven't been answered. There are techniques and approaches that nobody has ever walked you through, specifically for men in this stage of life. There is the challenge of aligning your desire levels with your partner's in a way that feels natural and sustainable, rather than forced or negotiated. These are not small questions, and they deserve complete answers. That is exactly why I put together something that I believe is the most comprehensive resource I have ever created for men over 60 who want to reclaim their full sexual confidence and their intimate relationship. I made a dedicated video about it, and I want you to watch it. It pieces the entire puzzle together, from fixing erection and performance issues at the root level to the specific techniques that make a man genuinely exceptional in bed after 60, to the exact approach that brings your partner's desire into alignment with yours. Every piece connected, every step guided from beginning to end. Like someone who has walked this road with hundreds of men, taking you by the hand and showing you every turn. The link to that video is pinned in the comment section right now. It is also in the video description below. I want you to go and watch it after this video. Not because what we covered today is invaluable, it is, but because what is waiting for you in that video takes everything you have learned here and gives you the complete roadmap, the whole picture, nothing left out. Go and find it. It is pinned in the comments and it is in the description below. What you find there could genuinely change the trajectory of your intimate life and your relationship. My name is Dr. Julia Rhodes, men's sex therapist with over a decade of experience working with different couples and helping men regain their sexual health and strength back. Before you close this, I am asking you to do 3 things. First, share this with a man who needs it. A close friend, a brother, someone whose confidence and quality of life are being quietly affected by erectile decline right now. Most men suffering through this are suffering in complete silence. Be the person who gets this information to someone who genuinely needs it. Second, leave a comment right now. Tell me your age, how long you have been dealing with this, and which ingredients surprised you most today. I read every single comment, and your responses shape everything I create every week. Third, if you have not subscribed yet, do it right now and turn your notifications on. Every week, I bring you clinically grounded, experience-backed science of men's sexual health, built for men who are serious about reclaiming what is theirs. Your body has not given up on you. The blood flow is still there to be restored. What you add to that preparation tomorrow morning may be the most important decision you make for your sexual health this year. Start tomorrow, not next week, tomorrow. I will see you in the next one.